All right, everybody. Welcome back to another session of Saturday School. My name is Various Smith, and I'm your host for Saturday School. This week, I am currently, you may notice the background is a little bit different because I'm here in Vegas and I'm visiting my dad. And so, it's just a little bit of a different setup today. However, we're going to move forward on what we normally talk about with regard to Saturday school. So I'll begin with the announcements. Okay, so first announcement. If you are on online and you want to keep up with all of the past versions of Saturday School, then you can go to our YouTube channel. Just search for IEWP Meetup group, or you can search for Inland Empire WordPress. And this is our YouTube channel. Every last one of these Saturday School sessions are being recorded, and they're automatically uploaded after Saturday School is over. Automatically uploaded here. We're currently on I believe it's week 16, or maybe week 15. But you can go here and check out every previous Saturday School and walk through the actual building of a WordPress website or your WordPress theme setup with us. There are also a few other videos here on our channel, and the videos that are on this channel are basically ones from our Meetup group. We do meet in Southern California every first Tuesday of the month. So we're going to get into that, and I'll tell you a little bit more about our Meetup. But before you do that, come to Twitter and follow us. We do have an Inland Empire Twitter account. You just go to twitter.com/IEWP Meetup. And I just tweeted out Saturday School, so you're going to see the newest tweet. It's that Saturday School is now live, and we are streaming this live via Google Hangouts. Next, on Facebook, we do have a Facebook page. Please come and like us here, and you can get updates from the Inland Empire Meetup group. And normally, whenever we are having Saturday School, I will just come here to the Saturday School page, and I will just shoot out an update through the Inland Empire Facebook page. And alongside of our Facebook page, we have the IEWP Meetup Facebook Meetup group. So you can come to this Facebook group, and you will receive updates about what's going on in the Inland Empire Meetup group. And if you have questions, technical questions, you can ask your questions here and be, helped with whatever you need. There is announcements as well about WordCamps that are coming up. And so, you just don't want to miss out. This is a great little area to get informed. If you're not physically meeting with the Meetup group. If you are familiar with the meetup.com website, go to meetup.com/Inland Empire WP, and you will be informed of future meetups, or you can even take a look at previous meetups. All of our meetings are listed here. Just come to the actual URL I mentioned and click on upcoming meetups here on the left side. You're actually going to have to log in, and so if I log in, I'll just see all of the previous events, and then some that are coming up. We do this Saturday school every Saturday, so it's a recurring meetup for the Saturday school listed here. But then also we have the recurring meetup for the monthly meetup. And coming up this month, we have a general topic. We don't have a specific speaker yet, but you know, we're in the process of deciding what that, what speaker is going to be there. But the general topic for the month of March is going to be regarding WordPress growth. So our growth in the WordPress community, our growth of your business, growth in general. So we're going to have something amazing planned for that. Here's our WordPress website. If you are for the meetup group, inlandempirewp.com/Saturday School. Check us out here. If you go to this page precisely, the Saturday School page, then you can actually watch the Saturday School broadcast. But if you go to the website in general, just to inlandempirewp.com, you're going to get general information about our meetup group. And you can also come and read the previous posts from the last meetup of February, the one that happened February 1st. We have images. We have the actual entire broadcast posted on here. Our speaker was a guy named Greg Taylor of Marketing Press TV. And so we have a bunch of links on this website that you can come check out yourself. And we meet at a place called Riverside IO. This is in downtown Riverside, right off of Market Street. So if you are in this area, if you're in the Riverside area, it's a great little co-working hacker space that you can check out. Membership is $100 per month, and you can come in anytime, use their facilities, work, have a time to focus. They have, chalkboards, whiteboards, things for you to plot and plan for your business, and just get work done. So there's a whole list of what they have here. Wi-Fi access, 24/7 access. It's downtown. There are some great restaurants in the area. Got a private room. You can have meetings there. They also have other events that they do at this meetup. So it'd be a great thing for you to check out. And their website again is riverside.io. The next URL that I'm going to, that's included in the announcements is wordpress.org. WordPress.org as opposed to WordPress.com is the open source software that we're using with what we're doing in Saturday School. So every week we're setting up a website or walking you through setting up your website. We're using this software. We're not on WordPress.com. You can download the software directly from this website. And then there are other resources, community resources, themes, plugins, even community support through forums and different documentation. Check out WordPress.org to actually begin to get involved with the WordPress community and get all the resources that you need. And this weekend, there is something going on in Miami called WordCamp Miami. WordCamps are actual conferences. They are normally Friday, Saturday, sometimes they last to Sunday. And during these conferences, you learn a lot. You have the ability to learn lots, and you have the ability to also network with lots of people in the WordPress community. The WordPress community is global. It is an open source software. And so if you are wanting to begin to dive into the WordPress community, learn more about it, also meet great people, you want to go to a WordCamp. This weekend, there is one in Norway, one in Miami, and one in Prague. So they're all over the world, but there are more coming up. And if you would like to know the ones that are coming soon, go to central.wordcamp.org. Great weekend of learning, teaching, training, networking provided for you at a very minimal cost. Tickets are usually $40 to $50. So check that out. It's a great deal. And if you ever want to just kind of find out a little bit more about what the WordCamps are like, go to WordPress.tv, because these WordCamps are normally recorded and then archived by the WordPress Foundation and members of the WordPress community here at WordPress.tv. This is a great spot to just come and get educated on different aspects of WordPress and also find out what it's like to be at a WordCamp. Check that out. Very last thing I'll tell you about is Desktop Server. It's a software created by serverpress.com. You can go to serverpress.com and grab a copy of the software. This is the software that I use to install local websites on your computer, or create a local install of your WordPress.org that we talked about here. Website you can create it with Desktop Server, which is this software. So make sure you check that out as well. And I would say that for the announcements, that is part of the announcements. And I'm going to move on to the second part of the announcements here. All right. So this is just briefly, I'm just going to walk us through this. The reasons why we host Saturday School. Welcome to Saturday School. It's hosted by the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup Group and myself. What is the Inland Empire Meetup Group? We're WordPress enthusiasts from the Inland Empire. We meet once a month, every first Tuesday, as I mentioned earlier. We meet via live stream, as we are doing now, every Saturday for Saturday School. You can also find the archives on YouTube. We also meet online in our Facebook group. So this is us. It doesn't matter if you've been working with WordPress platform for a short time, not at all, or many years. We welcome you to our family. Come and learn. So why Saturday School? Saturday School was created to help fill the gaps of learning that members of the IE WordPress Meetup Group had, and also gaps of learning for those who will find Saturday School on YouTube, the YouTube channel afterwards. So let's say you catch this broadcast later. You can always catch up by watching the previous broadcast. So in Saturday School, we cover theme setup and administration. You don't have to touch the code, and then we also cover the accompanying tools, some of the fundamental principles of understanding how to use WordPress as a content management system. So this is all that we cover in Saturday School, and we're going through something called it's actually called the WP Theme Setup Guide. It is a guide that I've actually personally have been working on, and this is what it looks like. And we are actually on slide 39. And today we've gone through. Last week we talked about sidebars and widgets. Last week we talked about media sizes. We also talked about featured images and short codes. So today we will eventually cover post metadata, categories, and tags. Those are the three things we're going to cover today. And so I will go there for now. But before we go there, I'm actually going to take a question from Mac. And Mac, could you just go ahead and throw that question out there that you had early? Because normally we kind of do it at the end, but I want to go ahead and cover that beforehand.
Okay. Let's see. There we go. All right. A lot of people, I presume, me being one of them, is built a WordPress site using a theme, much like the themes that you've been covering throughout this training session and program,
Yeah.
and only to find out months later that the developer of the theme has put together an upgrade for the theme, an update, oftentimes for security reasons. And so, when you're Mac to hacker, you've gone in and modified a bunch of code. You've commented certain things out because you don't know how to do it in CSS. I mean, for whatever reason, you've modified, the PHP within the theme. Well,
Yes.
all of a sudden you go, oh, I need to change this theme to something called a child theme, but my site's live. How do you do that? What's the best? I mean, is there a best method to doing that?
Yes, that's a good question. As I think about it, that's I mean, like that's happened to me personally, with creating a theme, and I've hacked it in the past before I created a child theme, or maybe I was just being careless. So I would say like one of the first things to do would be to create a duplicate of the website. You could do that. Normally, I use a tool. It's a plugin called it's called Duplicator. And let's see. I am going to share my screen here. And so I will go in and I'll create a duplicate of that post in the beginning. And then after I create that duplicate, I will actually install it via desktop server as well. So I'm going to go in and actually find this plugin really quick. Excuse that phone. I had no idea what's going to be going off. And so let's just go to add new plugins here. So because first of all, you do need to have a copy of the website. You go in, install a plugin called Duplicator, and that plugin will allow you to create a backup, like a duplicate of the post. And then eventually you're going to download that duplicate of the post and import it into ServerPress, which is your development environment through desktop server. Now that's just the beginning. There are a couple of things you're going to need to do because as you're building a website, it depends on how far you've got into modifying the theme. You may need to do several different things. One of the things that, I always, that always baffles me in the beginning was like, okay, whenever you switch to a child theme, normally, let's say you built your website with a bunch of widgets, you're going to lose most of your widget settings when you switch it over to a child theme. So there's actually a plugin that I've used before called Widget Settings. So I think it's called Widgets. Yeah, Widget Settings. Either one of these would work for you. Let's see, custom menu wizard widget, rating widget star. Actually, this is probably the plugin right here. But I think this is a plugin that you can export the settings of your widgets. And that's one of the biggest things, is losing those settings. You can always comb through your code and pull that over into a child theme. So if you've only modified and hacked, maybe let's say you modified and hacked the index.php, which is kind of like the first page. You modified and hacked maybe the functions.php. Those would be easy for you to go in and duplicate those actual files over into your child theme. You want to duplicate those first, and then every other file you want to leave just kind of basic. And once you pulled over all of the files that you've modified from that child theme, and you've also, are from that parent theme, you've also created your child theme with just like the basic CSS in the folder, you've activated it, then you can walk through and check out, okay, did I miss anything? This is all before you do the actual update from the theme developer, where it gives you the notification, says, hey, you need to update this. So you duplicate those files, you pull them over. Any duplicated file within the child theme is going to override the parent theme. And then once you activate the theme, you make sure all of your modified files have been duplicated over into the child theme. You activate the theme, and actually before you even activate the child theme, you want to install this widget settings importer, exporter onto the parent theme, and then export your widget settings, and then go and activate your child theme, and import these actual widget settings as well. And then you just kind of go back and forth and look at, whether you've missed anything, kind of double check. If you have missed anything, of course, you just bring that over as well. And once everything's fine, you can just deploy it back to your server. As a child, deploy the child theme back to your live server. And so I would say, that's kind of the quickest way to do that. And we have it all on video as well. I didn't write any notes for it, but we could always go back through the video. So hopefully that will answer the question that you had there, Mac. Does that kind of give a good outline for it?
Yeah, it's a good, good high-level overview. I'm just don't know that I would, right off the top of my head, how do you just from inside ServerPress just upload that the child theme versus the whole site?
Yes.
Maybe that's for another day.
Okay. Yeah. And so I will, what, I would go through it at this moment on ServerPress, but I've kind of configured my desktop server a little bit weird on this new laptop. So it's it's kind of something we're actually going to be working live on the server as well today, which is somewhat of a little bit of a no-no. We're not going to really be doing a lot of work though. But yeah, we definitely could cover that at a future time. And so, but so today with the WP theme setup guide, now, like if you do have a copy of this, like if you're building locally, let's say you're building locally, you got a copy of your main theme, you're setting up your theme as your question would go, and you got your website, but theme developer saying, hey, you want to update this website. So you could actually still use Duplicator the way that we talked about, and our desktop server also, I will show my entire screen so that you can see what I'm doing here, because I'm actually pulling up desktop server as well. All right, so if you are using desktop server, then there is a I think there's a feature on here to the second button here to remove, copy, or move an existing website. You could actually go ahead and copy the website instead of using that Duplicator plugin. So you'll have two websites to work from. So one could be the child theme and one could be the regular theme, and there's obviously several ways that you can do it. That would be one way that you could do it, to compare back and forth. So you'll have two of those website installs here in your development environment, but you're just switching back and forth between both of those and creating the child theme for one and the other one you're keeping it for that purpose of just reference. And if you're on desktop server, then and you're modifying your actual theme, then you also want to go to on a Mac, on a PC. I think it may be a little bit different. You want to go to your websites folder, which is inside of documents. So if you go to users, documents, and then websites, that's where all of your desktop server websites are going to be located. And you can always just kind of go into the WP content folder and the themes folder, and you can modify your child theme directly there as well. So that should solve the problem of controlling that child theme as well. So here we today we're actually back inside of the WP theme setup guide, and we've gone through a lot of building the website. We're covering kind of the remainder of little bitty odds and end things that need to be talked about with regard to WordPress. And so just helping to build the rest of the foundation of knowledge. And once again, if you're catching this broadcast via YouTube, then you can always reference the previous videos as well, because we just build each week and we're going through the same thing, and taking your questions and helping you to understand this. So today we are actually covering 9, 10, and 11, post metadata, categories, and tags. So that's where I'm going to go here. All right, so post metadata is the administrative information that you provide to viewers about each post. Okay, this information is usually includes the author of the post, when it was written or posted, and how the author categorized the post. So I actually added the link to the WordPress Codex. You can come here, and there's something called post metadata section. And metadata is data about data, basically. Just to put it more straightforward, metadata is data about data. So like if you create a post, then who was it? Who was the author of the post? What time was the post created? What is the date that the post was created on? What categories is this post listed in? All of these things are metadata. There's even different, like you can actually create different types of metadata within like these posts, and you can use custom fields to create different types of metadata as well for your actual posts, which would be a little bit more, I guess I would say a little bit more advanced use of metadata. So if I'm actually here at this Saturday School Final website, this website is the one we built last Saturday School at the very end of Saturday School. But I wanted to just, instead of working on the website, I just want to kind of talk about some of these basics in post metadata. If I were to go to any of the posts here within the Saturday School Final, and I were to look at this quick overview, then I can see a little bit of the metadata. I see that the author was Various Smith or V. Smith. I can see that it is in the category of uncategorized. I could see that within this preview, whatever tags are attached to this actual post whether or not it has comments. This is a little comment box. And then what was the date that it was published on? So if I were to click the screen option in the top right-hand corner, I actually can, take away, it doesn't actually remove the metadata, but it removes the preview of the metadata here on the quick view of the post. And if I were to click edit and go into the actual post, then I can begin to edit some of this metadata. Whenever I click edit and come into the post, then there's also screen options within the editor I can click on, and I can select or deselect certain parts of metadata that I can change. Any of the data about this post, I can, I've just now clicked on every last one of these. And so if I were to scroll down, then I can see that there is an excerpt, there are trackbacks, and trackbacks themselves, they're really a form. They're not really like a form of metadata that you edit. It's just like basically you getting notified when somebody else posts your post on their blog, and they're actually legacy, which means they're pretty old. Most people don't use them. I turn them off on my blog a lot. You can turn on and off comments, and this is the custom fields area that I was telling you about that we won't go into today. And you can turn off trackbacks down here at the bottom. So this just a little bit of the metadata. Here under the publish side, you can change the status of the post. You can make it visible, to the public, or you can make it password protected or private. And you can also change the date that it's been published on. So you can choose to set this to the past, present, or future. And the date attached to the post is part of the metadata. Now, one thing that you can also do is you can change the format of the post. And if you keep scrolling down, then you can see the categories. This is another form of metadata. And one of the ways to add a category would be to just check this box here. But as we talk about categories, then we do segue into the next part of what we're going to talk about, which is our categories. So each post in WordPress is filed under one or more categories. This aids in navigation and allows posts to be grouped with others of similar content. Each category may be assigned to a category parent, allowing you to set up a hierarchy within the category structure. In creating categories, recognize that each category name must be unique. Thus, if two categories have two different parents, they must still have different names. So we'll follow this link to the Codex as well. So I guess maybe I put the wrong link here. Let's see if I remove this period. There we go. So here it is. This is the categories page, and you can get tons of more information about categories here in the Codex. Categories is a form of metadata, and there is an administration screen that they show here. We're going to walk through that and create a few categories today. But there are different parts of a category. They're listed here. There's a name, there's a slug, there's the parent, there's the description, and then, on the category screen, there's the add new category. So let's go there. So if I'm here I'm actually here on the actual website, Saturday School Final website that we were just on. And here on the left side, there is the post that we clicked on. And then there's also categories underneath the post, because categories are related to posts. If I click on that, then I can create a few categories. This brings me to this category editor. And so I'm going to add a few categories. Very simply, I just can add one called blog. And if I, tab to the next space, the slug is the URL friendly of the version of this name. So if I were to go back, and let's just say, because this slug is going to be the same thing as blog, I can make it different, but it wouldn't make much semantic sense. You want it to be semantically correct as well. So I will keep it at blog, but let's say I wanted to call this category, instead of blog, blog posts. This is a double worded category, or a multi-word category. Within the slug, there can be no spaces. So the slug, as is mentioned here, it's usually all lowercase and contains only letters, numbers, and hyphens. So all lowercase, letters, numbers, and hyphens. So if I were to type blog, P-O-S-T-S, blog post, and put a space in between there, then actually WordPress would correct this for me. But since I know that I can put a hyphen in between blog posts, I'll do it personally just like that. And that's going to be my slug for this category. And I can choose a parent. Currently there's only one category, and that's uncategorized. That's the default category. But I'm just going to leave this at none. And I can also add a description. So I will add a description. This is the category for blog post. And then I'll click add new category. The category has been added here on the right. Now, let's say I want to create another one. And let's just say I wanted to create one called cat post. And it's going to be underneath the category of blog posts. I can actually leave the slug blank, and WordPress will automatically fill that in. So I'm just going to leave it blank for this one. And then I'm going to make the parent blog post, because cat posts are within our blog posts. Then I can add a description, a category for all my posts about cats. And I add the new category. Even though I left the slug blank, you can see here on the left side that cat post, cat hyphen post, becomes the slug with a hyphen in between it and all lowercase. That became the slug. My description is the same, and the title is the same. However, if you look here on the category listing, on the right side of the categories screen, then you can see that this indicator shows that it is a child of the cat post. And so, cat post is a child of the blog post. So now that I have two new categories, I'm going to go ahead and add a new post briefly, and I'm just going to say, this is my blog post about cats. And I can add some text into here. I love cats. Now, I've just created a new post, and I want to decide what metadata I want to attach to this. So if I don't do anything and I just publish it, then the metadata of the date is going to be today's date, and it's going to be stamped with the time, the exact time that I posted as well. It's going to stay public, and this status of draft is going to change to published. So, and then I can also add an excerpt, but most excerpts are usually automatically set, but I'll just put I love cats. here. Now, the category I can actually set as well here on the right side. And this is beginning to attach the data, the metadata of categories. I can just select blog post and select cat post. And there we have it. These are two pieces of metadata that I've just, actually three with the excerpt, that I've just added to this post. It's not published yet, but if I go ahead and click publish, then we have our new post, and all of this metadata has been attached to it. That is it for categories. And if you go to this page in the Codex, codex.wordpress.org/post_metadata section, then you can get a little bit more information, a little bit more in-depth information about this area as well. Here at the Codex. So the next thing that we're going to cover are going to be tags. So we cover categories, which are, it's a form of metadata. It is also what is called a taxonomy. Now we're going to go to tags, which is another form of metadata, and it is another taxonomy. So tags, every post in WordPress can be filed under one or more tags. This aids in the navigation and allows posts to be grouped with others of similar content. So it's a way to group post content, and it's also a way to allow for navigation of posts on the front end. So you can go to there are many websites who actually use tags in a very handy way to create maybe an area where people can click on these tags and have a particular view of all the similar tags. So one of the websites that comes to mind is one called Subtle Patterns. This is a really cool little website, but it's really just subtle patterns for your background. I love this website, but at the very bottom of the website, they have these tags, and I can choose what pattern I want to use based on a tag. So let's see, they have light, dark paper stripes. And this website, I haven't looked to see if it's actually a WordPress website. I believe it is. I'm pretty sure it is. But you can see here's their tag scheme. If I click on light, then here at the top in the URL, I see subtlepatterns.com/tag/light. And this means that now every post that they've placed on this website under the tag light is showing up. And I can navigate through these posts and find whatever pattern I want. They have tons of them. And if I wanted to change up light from, the type of background pattern I want to maybe noise. Now I have all background patterns that are, tagged with noise showing up on this website. And what's really cool, I love this website. What's really cool about this website is that I could actually click on this preview button and it changes the background of the website. It's a pretty cool little thing. And it's a great way to get little patterns for your graphic design and website work as well. Love this website. Check it out. But these are tags. And if I were to go to the Codex for tags, I do have it listed here. I can go to tags for the Codex. It just basically says what I did talk about, but it also takes you to the tag screen. And we're actually going to navigate there because this is one way that you can add or manage your tags through the tag screen. And to get to the tag screen, you look on the left sidebar. As we were on the left sidebar earlier, we can click on categories or we can click on tags. Let's click on tags. So there are 0 tags here. I can begin to think of different tags for the posts that I want to actually that for what I want to tag these posts with. So since we used cats earlier, I'm going to use cats again. Cats can be one tag. Or instead of that, what I can do is I can do something related to cats, and I can say like furry animals, you know. That can be a tag. It's a 2-word tag, and I want this to be capitalized because it's not a slug, and it's going to appear on my website exactly the way that I type it here. Now the slug, as we talked about earlier, is all lowercase, so the slug for this would be furry hyphen animals. And then I could say, this is where we keep all the furry animals. So if I add new tag, then we have our new tag here. So if I add a few more tags, I can say scaly animals. These are all tags. Kind of similar to the interface for creating tags is similar to the category interface, but the difference is that tags do not have a hierarchy. This is where we keep all the scaly animals. I spelled scaly, right? And so I add new tag here. And so I can go on and on with this. But what I'm going to do is go back to the post that we created. So I'm going to go to all posts, and I'll go to, this is my blog post about cats. And if I click edit, on the right side here at the bottom, then I have a little area for cats, or for tags. And I can begin to type in my tag here on this right side in the post editor, furry, and automatically there's this autocomplete, and I can click on furry animals. If I click on furry animals, now that tag has been added. I click add, and it's been connected to the post. So these are, like all of these tags are very helpful for you to categorize and organize information on your post. I'm going to click update here, and I could actually add another tag directly here without even going to the tag editor. I could say maybe house pet. It's related to what a cat is. It's a house pet, and so it's a valid tag. And then I click update. Now if I wanted to view this post, I just click open link in new tab here, and I have all of my tags listed on the post here, and all of the categories here at the top. This is all part of the metadata. If I click on any one of these, like either tags or categories, it's going to bring me up to the template for all of the either furry animals or whatever category or whatever tag I click on. So there we have a brief overview of categories, post metadata, and tags. And we are coming close to the actual end of the broadcast. Oh, the screen was not sharing. Okay, so let me go back really quick. I didn't see that, and I will cover. I'll cover back the tag part. Okay, so let's go back to tags. Here is the tag editor on the left side, and I created these two tags here on the right side. So I'm also going to go and I'll create a couple more. So I created house pets as a tag. Let's go ahead and create a few more tags. Let's just say favorite animals. Slug, favorite animals. All right, and some of my favorite animals. I'll add the new tag. So this tag editor, again, is located here on the left side underneath tags. And if I go now to all posts and I click on this post to edit it, then I can see here on the right side the tags that I did add earlier, but I wasn't actually sharing my screen. But I'm going to add another tag. So favorite. I did just add the tag to the database, so it's going to show up here as autocomplete. I can click on that tag like that and click add. And now we have 3 tags attached to this one post: favorite animals, house pets, and furry animals. And then I'm going to click update here, and I will open this link in a new tab, and we're going to view the actual post, which is here. And I can refresh this post here, and these are the tags located here at the bottom of this post. This is just the way this theme is made. So if I click on favorite animals, it'll pull up an archive page of all of the animals that have this tag favorite animals on it. So if I created 20, 30, 40, 50 more posts and added this favorite animals tag to it, people could navigate to any of these posts clicking on the favorite animals tag. And back to the subtle patterns website, I don't believe I was able to show this as well. These tags are located at the bottom. You'll see similar things like this all over the web on different websites. And if I were to choose different types of tags, it pulls up this archive. This is really an archive page on this subtle patterns website. And if you see right up here where I'm clicking at the URL, it says subtlepatterns.com/tag/stripes. So that was the tag that I clicked on. It's the stripes tab. And they have, of course, a cool feature that I was mentioning earlier where you can click on preview and it just changes the background. And it's a cool little website. Use it for your background patterns if you ever need one for building your website. All of these background patterns can be used free of charge, but they say read this before using them. So it's a free resource. It's a great resource, and they use tags in a very straightforward way. So we just talked about the tags and also the Codex screen. I don't know if you got to see this as well. Go to codex.wordpress.org/posts_tags_screen. And this is a way that you can actually, learn more in depth about the administration screen for adding post tags and some of the ways that they can be used as well. So check that out, and thank you for that heads up, Mac, because I did not realize I was not sharing my screen. I think I've done that before. So let's see. Categories, tags, and finally putting it all together. This is what we're going to be doing next time around. Coming to the end of the presentation of the theme setup guide, but we're going to be putting the website altogether. Like, we're going to be building an entire demo site next week. This is all we have for this week. I will stop screen sharing and put the camera on again because I want to take any more questions. Hey, Mac, do you got any more questions today, or after covering most of that?
Not at this time.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, if no more questions, then we're gonna go ahead and call this one a wrap. And man, thanks for tuning in, Mac. And if you're catching it on YouTube, be sure you check out next time around. All right, Mac. Talk to you later. Okay.
Okay. Take care.